name's Jack Soul, and in this video we're going to be talking about Chase Bliss and Goodhertz collaboration to bring the Lossy to pedal form. And I'm really excited about this pedal. There's so much going on with it, but I'm not going to be talking about the details on all the different aspects of this pedal. I'm just going to try and show you why you should want one of these pedals and how it interacts with different pedals, including the generation loss. So buckle up, stay tuned. I'm super excited for this one. Let's get into it. Okay, let's take a second to talk about the signal chain real quick. So it's going from my American Telecaster into my pedal board, and then down to my Fender Supersonic amp, which is right down in the bottom of the frame, mic'd up straight into my interface. So the effect that's going to stay on the whole time is the kernum. And what we're going to do first is just take a quick look at the current settings on the Genloss and the Lossy, and then we're going to start comparing them, combining them, and I'm going to show you why the Lossy has something unique that is going to be really cool for sound creation and just overall working with. It's going to be a blast. So here's what the generation loss effects. I'm going to play it with a reverb. Here's what the generation loss sounds like. And then Lossy. Okay, so I am really digging this already, and we've just begun. So what I'm going to do now is play a little loop from the blooper, and we're just going to listen to them through the generation loss and the Lossy. Just finding the loop now. Here it is. So then you click over to this side, hold down, and there it goes searching for the, or loading the loop rather. Sometimes takes a second. This loop that I made earlier, I just made it so that I can have my hands free to kind of work around with some different settings, but I made it with the MICROCOSM Mosaic Mode D. Okay, so it's ready. Pop it into the middle, and here it is. So it's a really beautiful loop, and basically what this little segment of the experiment is going to be about is just listen to the loop right now. And then when I click on the Genloss and then the Lossy respectively, and then them together, I just want you to think about how that makes you feel and what vibe these pedals can give and offer. So here's without Genloss or Lossy. And here comes Genloss. And here comes Lossy. It almost gets this underwater effect going on, because I know what it was made to achieve and emulate, but there are so many different little interesting effects in the Lossy. That creates the dropout effect. And this creates a slurred effect. Back to original. And here's both of them together. And I think that is the most Genloss, Lossy, loss kind of effect. That's kind of what I have in my head. And it kind of does take these two pedals to achieve it. I think where the generation loss pedal actually affects like what it does to affect your signal, the Lossy picks up right where it leaves off and kind of covers it in that loss, and where it almost has a loss blanket over the loss effect, if that makes sense. So let's stop this. The last part of this experiment is, you know, when you're watching a VHS and the logo of the company that made it flashes up on the screen prior to the VHS starting, and then the company's little jingle comes with the logo, and it sounds just so old and warbly, and so I've come up with a little jingle that I think fits the bill, and I'm gonna play it on the generation loss and then the Lossy, and then I'm gonna play it on both, and you can just decide what you feel like sounds the best and works best for you when it comes to that lossy sound, that Genloss sound. So how I'm going to create this sound is I'm going to start with the detune preset on the SY-200. And it already sounds really good. It's got that kind of classic sound to it. And I'm going to add reverb to that on the Mercury X. This is a Cathedra setting. And I think that already sounds amazing. And then I'm going to add a dotted eighth delay on the LVX. Okay, so without the Genloss or the Lossy, here's how my little jingle sounds. Alright, I'm going to play it one more time. Okay, I already think that sounds really good, but here is the jingle with the generation loss. Okay, here's the jingle with the Lossy. Okay, I think that sounds really neat too. And here is Genloss and Lossy. And I think together they just have something so special when it comes to, again, the generation loss being kind of that sound, that vibrato, that old sound, and then the Lossy just puts another blanket over that. And I really think that that brings that whole cassette sound together. Here's both again. Here's no failure on the Genloss. And then here's introducing that mild noise that I think brings it right together. I love that. So to finish off this experiment, we're going to head over to Mosaic Mode D, reverb all the way off, the filter, low pass filter up a bit, mix all the way up. Reverb is going to be over on the Mercury X, and we're just going to play around with the Genloss and the Lossy on this mode. Okay, and here comes the Genloss. And here's the Lossy. And here's both. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. This isn't the last you're gonna see of Lossy on this channel. I'm gonna do a video of some of my favorite settings to come, and it has such unique sounds. Like we were looking at, it kind of sounds like you're underwater sometimes. The bandpass filter is amazing on it, and not to mention the limiter. And I think the gate in the limiter, and again, not to mention how amazing that gate sounds when it starts to fall apart at the end. I can't wait to dive further into it with you guys. And again, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.